been meeting with. The doorway is wide open when you get there. And as you step inside, you feel a little bit of a buzz for a moment, like stepping through an electric field or something. And when you get inside, you feel a little bit of clarity. Like you're seeing the room unblurred from your vision. There's quite a lot inside. On the right, it seems almost normal. There's a desk with a few books and papers, a couch, the bed that you've made quite extensive use of, and a TV currently on in static. On the other side, though, is a set of shelves full of very strange books, candles illuminating that entire side, and down in the center of it all, a red pastel circle with numerous strange symbols drawn around it. Your friend is sitting inside of it, and she looks over towards you expectingly. Oh, it's about time. And she waves you in.
I'll make my way closer.
Good. She points to a part of the circle that has a little bit of room in it. Go ahead and sit right there for me.
Okay. I'll make my way over to that area of the circle and take a seat.
All right. You take a seat down inside of it, and she sits adjacent, continuing chanting in an unfamiliar, very strange language to you. She doesn't stop for several minutes. The whole time, everything seems to sway in your vision the longer you sit in the circle.
Is this normal? John will ask.
It's real, if that's what you're asking. I got something I need you to do, but I need you to practice first.
Was I that bad?
Oh, no. No. That was just leading up to making this possible.
Okay, this is gonna be a trip. Let's do this.
Ah, such a good boy. She says a little condescendingly as she enters a more focused phase of her preparation, and you start to notice the static of the television a little bit more and more, a little louder, and you can hear a voice coming from it. John. Over here.
I look at the television. See.
It's full of static.
Oh. Do I recognize the voice?
It sounds very much like the person right next to you.
Oh, I get it now.
What do you do?
Get out of the circle for one.
Okay. You get out of the circle, and where do you go?
Well, I kind of look at the thing in the circle, see if I can get a good look at it.
Okay. It appears to be a 5-sided pentagram with a no, it's just about that.
Okay.
Trying to think of additional descriptions. Flopped. Oops.
It's fine. And the mage, is she just still sitting in there? Or whatever is
That's
represented?
right. She's intensely focused, not responding.
I'm gonna walk over to the TV and try to listen more closely.
You approach the television to listen more closely. The static, of course, getting louder and louder as you get closer to the speakers. And as your face gets close to the screen, the static field reaches out and sucks you inside.
Oh. Oh no.
You end up tumbling for what feels like a minute before flopping onto bare, cold stone. Looking up, it's like looking upwards from the bottom of a bowl, where all of the edges are an infinitely complex maze. Above the bowl is a massive purple starry field with a great flickering light far off into the distance. You are in the middle of a maze.
Okay. John's gonna stand up, kind of dust himself off, and suppress the panic. He looks around.
You look around, and you have a few choices, at least, of stone hallway to progress through. But go ahead and give me some perception, some wits resolve.
Sorry, just. Oh, exceptional success.
Oh, excellent. You hear actually quite a lot of different noises off in the distance. On one hand, you hear another television coming from your left. You hear the sounds of groans and moans coming from your right. And directly ahead, you hear the sound of scraping and crying.
I go back towards the television.
You head towards the television.
Static, because that's obviously the way out.
Go ahead and give me. Let's see. What will it be to get through the maze?
I say
Let's
hope.
go with wits and composure.
One success.
That's good. Every step you take sort of claws at your mind, and you try to retain focus on the sounds that you heard, on the direction that you're going. And just around a few corners, you find it. And among this stone maze, the floor changes to that of a familiar shag carpet, among which is a couch, a television, and of course, the girl you know, sitting in nothing but her lingerie, rather lazily staring at the television.
Wait, was that really the way out? John's just gonna ask aloud.
The television isn't staticky. It's sounds like it's playing some kind of soap opera. But you ask aloud. if it's the way out. And the girl looks up at you and goes, "Hmm? Out? Whatever. Get over here and watch some TV with me." As she says that, another instance of her starts walking by, coming out from one entrance of this room and walking towards the other. She appears to be dressed nicely in a pantsuit and carrying a few big books with her. She has a very serious expression on her face as she just sort of marches past.
So, is this going to be the one of you tells the truth, the other one of you lies thing? I'm really scared and lost. I'm just going to level with you.
The one on the couch looks up and goes, yeah, one of us tells the truth, one of us lies, and one of us watches TV.
I'm going to go tap the TV screen just to make sure it's not going to pull me in again.
You, tap at the TV screen, and it seems perfectly normal and real despite being in the center of this odd maze. As you tap it, of course, she goes, "Get out of the way, down in front." Ugh.
I'm going to go sit by the one that said come watch TV with me because listening to her might be the only way out of this.
She's, sprawled out on the couch, and she, moves her legs a little bit to give you a bit of a seat on it.
I'm going to sit down on the couch.
It seems to be a very fast-paced soap opera, and if you knew any Spanish, you could actually follow it. But as it stands, the longer and longer you watch, the more you feel a pull. Let's see. Roll me stamina, resolve, and blood potency.
Stamina. Or no, wait, that's the wrong. Stamina. Resolve. And blood potency, which I just add in as the modifier, right? Yeah. Two successes.
You can sort of feel your energy draining the longer you stay here, sitting around, just watching TV, doing nothing. Though, not so much that you couldn't get up and simply leave. In fact, the longer you kind of watch it like this, the more boring it's getting for you. There's
Okay,
nothing fulfilling here.
I'll get up then. And how many of her are in the room now, too?
Yes. The other one is kind of, marching about still. It has been for several minutes, trying to just decide between directions.
I'll try to get her attention then.
As soon as you address her, she just sort of snaps her head in your direction. What?
What's going on? Why are there two of you? Where am I?
You're in the middle of your trial. What else? You're being tested. Ah, simpleton. Why did I even bother? I'm busy. I'm trying to organize. You do your thing.
Uh,
No, maybe you could find something for me. I'm looking for another version of myself. I have to get this information to her.
I'll bring it to her. Yeah, if that solves whatever trial I'm in, that sounds great.
Good. Better you than me. She
Well, that's
forces a handful of books into your arms and just rushes off into the maze.
That was not encouraging at all. I'm just gonna address the one loafing on the couch. I'll be back. Probably.
Yeah, whatever. Bring back some beers.
God, you're hot. As I make as I make my way back into the endless nightmare that is this maze.
Alright. So you head back into the maze. Well, where are you going?
Not the scratching sound, because that infers claws. So the moaning and groaning noise?
Okay. Go ahead and roll me another Wits Composure.
Oh no.
You wander and meander, and wouldn't you know it, it just happens to be a maze, and it's a little easy to get lost. You go from one place to another, trying to figure out where exactly you are now. Your head isn't exactly clear. But as you go, you feel like you're getting closer and closer to that massive light in the sky, like you're on one of the edges of the bowl. And you come out to an area that looks as if it's going off into space. You've definitely changed your orientation. You're standing on what you feel is the side of the bowl, but your gravity is still downwards towards your feet. The area here, though it cuts off onto the edge, looks rather well furnished. Candles sit around, and a number of skulls with very well diagrammed heads sort of sit around the whole place. There's an instance of the girl standing around, sort of in casual wear, going from head to head, sort of inspecting them. And then staring off into space, gazing straight at that light far off in the infinite distance.
Good thing vampires can't hyperventilate. I brought you books. I'll say, making my way towards her.
She kind of looks over at you curiously and raises an eyebrow. You did? Well, let's see them.
I bring the books over to her.
She takes a look at them, opening them up, and you can see that they're picture albums. In fact, you can even see from this distance, some of them appear to be of her in different locations with different people smiling. And before she gets very far, she just sort of closes up again and goes and shakes her head. No, these aren't useful to me. Maybe if you brought me someone else's.
Okay. You seem very lucid, so could I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
What trial? Somebody, one of you said that this is a trial, and
Yeah, that was me. uh, well, it's complicated. And she picks up one of the skulls. This one is mine, and you're in here. And I need you to be in here. Not now, but later. So, I've thrown you into practice to get used to it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes about as much sense as anything else has recently.
You see, I needed a little bit of help. Something is going to happen. Prophecy is over. Here. And she reaches up towards a shelf and pulls out a very large, very, heavily marked scroll. As if someone is trying to bring a lot of attention to it and not forget about it. Yes, this. This little prophecy here says I'm going to be in quite a lot of trouble, and this is how I intend to solve it. With you.
Okay. I kind of try to take the scroll if she'll.
She goes ahead and lets you take it. You can't necessarily leave here with anything, though oddly enough you can bring things in, don't you know?
Do I need to bring this to an instance of you?
No, but if you wanted to look at it, you could.
Okay, that works for me.
I figure we're partners in crime at this point.
Uh,
Sure tried hard enough to make it that way.
It's honestly worth it. And I'm gonna try to read the scroll.
You open it up and try to read it, and it is not in the written word. It is a series of pictograms. Each one depicting actions, places, and emotions. Go ahead and roll me, Wits Empathy to read it.
Oh god, emotions. One success.
You try to read through it, and you get sort of the general, gist that there's some sort of great doom that is going to happen to her, and she will be helpless as something looms over her. And then it is empty, but after whatever happens next, she prevails. And there's another picture in the far distance. But there's no detail to make out who.
Am I that guy? I motion at the other in the picture.
She takes back the scroll and shrugs. Well, you could be.
I mean, okay, that works for me.
Trust me, it doesn't get any more clear from over here.
Yeah. So is this... So I'm inside your mind.
That's correct.
And your versions of yourself?
Yeah, sort of the parts of me that make up me, though not in every aspect. It's the
It and the ego?
goetic demons of my mind, if you would. Not necessarily every single part of me, but maybe the parts that are the most important, or that tug at the mind the most. You have them in your head too. Different aspects of you that come clawing out, that try to take control. Some may be nice, some maybe not. Let's see, if I've followed your path so far... Well, you found the lie and the librarian. Interesting.
The lie?
Yes, the lie. That which is within all humans. Humanity's curse.
Sloth?
No. No, worse. It turns you away from knowledge. It covers the entire world. It hides you in shadow. It tells you that the things you see are what's real and not what is truly real. It's hard to explain unless you can see. Maybe I should give you a demonstration later. And she begins scribbling down a note.
So, I need to take those books to a version of you that needs to see yourself happy and in places. So probably not the lie, because that wants to destroy information. So either the moaning and groaning one, or the scratching.
Oh! Oh, the librarian gave you those. She must be passing off work then. Mm. Part of me never quite wanted to go through with everything. Well, best of luck, I suppose. You don't have to, but, well, it'd be nice of you to.
Okay, I go back and take the books and try to bid her farewell and say, "Hope." So wait, which part of you are you?
The Transcendent. The Warlock.
Okay. By the way, when I get back out, we're going to have a very long and probably not that long conversation about whatever this is. Uh, you know,
Oh,
and
don't
about
worry.
boundaries and permission, and I'm
Oh,
basically, yeah.
don't worry. Creativity has a plan for you there.
And I take the books and make my way back out into the horrifying nightmare maze that is her mind.
As you, sort of think that, she kind of calls out, "It's called pandemonium," as you head off into the distance.
That's not settling.
Go ahead and roll another, what was it? Wits Composure, to try to find out where you wanted to go.
2 successes.
And you wanted to go find the moaning, didn't you?
Yeah. Okay, wait, is it good moaning or bad moaning? I should have asked.
Well, the closer and closer you get to it, the more it sounds like the good kind. In fact, the very familiar kind. It's not just her voice that you hear. You hear several other voices. One of them sounds like yours.
Oh god, maybe I'm gonna. Oh god, if. Oh, this is gonna. This.
You walk into another area. This one is massive. It's like a warehouse. It has multiple tiers set up. Every single area is covered by some sort of different object, like a bed, a couch, a kitchen countertop, and upon every single one of them is a sort of mannequin-like figure, each in different poses mid-coitus. Majority of them are, of course, female and seem almost reminiscent of her. You can spot quite a few that appear reminiscent of you. And in the distance, you can spot a moving figure. It's her again, clad in lingerie. But instead of it being bland beige wear, it's kinky and silky. And she just sort of waves over to you from high atop a dais, managing the mannequins and shifting them into new positions. One of them, of course, this time is you. She moves it around and fondles it.
Okay. This is. Okay. I. John's gonna make his way over with the books.
You pass by every mannequin, hearing occasionally a little moan from them, and even seeing a little motion as they go through a simple act repeatedly. Almost as if activating by proximity. And of course, as you approach, this version of her glides across the bed that she had just prepared with the 2 mannequins and sort of kicks them off. You can. Uh, words. Words, words, words. I will have words. But But she sprawls out on the bed and waves you over. So nice to see you. It's been so fun. You're just so posable.
I think you're not the one who needs to look at these books, but
Well,
I kind of show her the books.
she takes the book and opens it up and goes, oh yeah, what a buzzkill. I don't do these ones anymore. She just sort of hands them back, pouting.
I am going to be stuck here forever.
What? Forever? No, you got a time limit.
Oh.
Look,
So
I don't want to spend all night not seeing you. You're gonna get back, and then we're spending some of the night doing this, and she points directly behind her.
I've had
The mannequin she was just posing.
God. Okay. This is what I used to dream about. Anyway, let's... So, you don't need anything? You don't need to see these books? You don't need to talk to yourself?
Well, I just need you, she says as she starts reaching for your collar.
I take a step back because I'm going to be stuck here forever if I do this.
She just sort of laughs as you reach away. I like it when you struggle. Come back here. And, success has become strength. Tempting. Alright.
Oh no. Oh no.
Roll your strength and athletics for me.
Oh no. Three. Oh my god, yes.
As you try to step away, you can feel the force tugging you in as she waves her hands in your direction. Come here! Come here! It'll be fine! She says as you start to turn to run.
Yeah, I'm going
trying to evade her grasp.
Yeah.
Suddenly, of course, you are leaving her and heading back into the maze. Where are you gonna go?
To the scratches.
Alright.
The only place left to go.
Roll the roll. Go ahead and give me a +2. You've been here for a little bit now. You know where you haven't been, at least.
That's with composure to find my way?
Yes, with composure.
Because I remember you also were having me roll wits resolve, and I just want to double check. Oh, thank God. Only.
Against your own instinct, you start heading towards the scratching and sobbing. You can sort of feel this aura of dread over yourself as the closer and closer you get. No, nothing wants to be here, but yet you've chosen to be here. And as you turn a corner, you see within the maze itself a version of her in a nice little red dress, sitting down against the side of the wall, knife in hand, just scratching out against the stone. And you can see heart after heart carved into the wall, a few different names continuously repeating, and a great big slash across each and every one of them.
Is she also sobbing?
Yes.
Oh God, I'm gonna get murdered. I make my way over to her.
As you approach, she sort of turns her head and goes, "Ooh."
It's John.
John, you look like a few others. You look just like them. Those bastards!
Oh,
and
no.
she gets up and lunges in your direction. Roll me initiative.
Oh no. Initiative.
It's a 1d10 plus whatever your initiative score is.
Okay. Sorry.
And for simplicity, since it is just 2 people, we'll be just keeping these scores instead of doing it the traditional way. She will act first, but you will get to respond to anything that she does with an action of your own if you want. Interrupting her.
Okay.
Is essentially how it's supposed to go. But she stands up and she begins rushing towards you, knife in hand, screaming. And as she approaches, it looks like she intends to stab straight at your heart. Is there anything you'd like to do first, or shall we go ahead and go and defend?
I'm gonna open the book and go, look at the good times. Remember the good times.
As you open the book, she goes, "Those were the worst times! That's when he broke up with me!" And she screeches even louder.
Fuck.
What is your defense? Probably should have it right here.
Defense.
2, isn't it?
Yep. I also have resilience.
Sure do.
If that does anything.
Gives you more health. Oh. Alright. She gets 2 successes and will deal 2 bashing damage to you as she tries to swipe and cut at you.
Okay.
Alright. And that's the set of turns because you used yours to try to expose her to the book blindly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Next turn. It looks like she's intending to do the same and will not stop. You could try to take an action to find something in the book to show her in particular.
Yeah, I'll try to find the good times in the book.
Alright, roll Intelligence Academics, and we're going to do it at a -2 because there's sort of a distraction going on right now.
Can I use a willpower?
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't know how that. I don't understand. This is willpower's +2, 3. What's a willpower again?
3. Yes.
And that's a -2
From
from.
the distraction, yes.
So just an extra die then. 2 successes.
You start flipping through the book, trying to figure out what would be the best thing to calm down someone very mad about previous relationships.
New
And
relationship?
you start flipping towards the back, and you find pictures of yourself when you were at the door glaring at her, different poses in bed, and a few different good times. And as you show them to her, she just sort of calms down and starts breathing heavily, staring at them. And she just swipes the entire book out of your hand.
That's me. I kind of tell her, giving her the book.
I know it is! I know it is, but I... Ah! And she slashes against the stone wall. Damn it, why are you so odd?
Okay. So just remember, like, I'm still here for you. I'm not one of them. I motion towards the slashed hearts on the wall.
She starts dropping to her knees and sobbing again. No, no, it's fake. It's just as fake as the rest of them. It's fake, fake, fake. None of it matters. And as she's saying that, your world vision starts to blur a little bit, and you feel like you're starting to fall, but upwards this time. And as you start flying off into the infinite void forever, you suddenly drop onto the apartment floor, exactly where you were sitting before. The girl is not at the circle. She's across the room, over on the couch, watching TV, in her lingerie. But the silky kind.
What? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Oh, you're here. About time.
I check my chest for the stab wounds.
You check your chest, and just your vampiric healing is starting to stitch them up and make them vanish. But they are real. You still have a few cuts in your shirt as evidence.
Hey, beautiful, we're gonna have to have a bit of a talk.
Yeah, sure, talk. And she starts wandering over to you, picks you up, and drags you over to bed.
Afterwards. Let's talk
Afterwards.
And I, spend a point of blood to animate myself just to...
There you go. Let's go ahead and close that turn order. Okay. Everyone else. Elland has dismissed himself. He's gotten a call for a sudden emergency, as you have been plotting to head to the chemical plant. And
I believe we had just left the hookah bar, right?
you had, but the at least next point of information was to head in that direction. And at the very least, everyone can talk about it. You did try to call John earlier in the night. But about this time, you actually managed to get a hold of him. His phone simply was not in service before.
Hey, John.
Hey, what do you need?
Who's that?
Just, it's, my friends. I think they need my
We
help.
need your ass. Yes, we need your ass done in.
Adam, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to John, Victor.
I've been
One of your
kinda-
friends is really loud.
I know.
Yeah, well, you too.
Hey, I'll hang up.
We'll call you
no,
back.
Come here.
Ask him if we caught him at a bad time.
Well, are you okay?
Kind of. I was in the middle of something.
Yeah, well, unless it's involved Croc and the Shackle of the Crown, drop your something and come here. We have a ghost to investigate. And I'm pissed tonight, okay?
Why?
So sorry.
Why are you so angry, Adam?
Because this fucking ritual exhausted me.
I'll be right there.
You know, if you're so exhausted, maybe we should... You know, it's been a long night. Maybe
No, I'm
we should...
exhausted and angry.
Yeah, but maybe we should recuperate some of our losses that we've incurred during our adventure. What time is it, by the way?
Let's see. What was the time we left off on? I'm gonna say it's probably about 1 a.m. right now.
Now, listen, I'm going to deal with these ghost things. It's gonna make me feel a bit better. Okay?
I'll be right there. Just tell me where to go.
Thanks. So, I'll tell him the location. I don't remember. It's chemicals. It's Rogers Chemicals plants. I don't remember. What was the name of the building?
I've forgotten myself already.
Rockford Chemical
Well,
Plant.
guess we're not going.
The place seems to fade from existence as the GM forgets about it.
Yes, we'll go with Robert. Whatever I had said before, it is now retroactively Robert. Woo. The name, of course, isn't too important.
All